Hi friends, welcome to Devrat Knowledge Villa and you are watching our English video series of operating system. And today we will learn CPU scheduling. In terms of CPU scheduling, we will discuss some of the topics how actually CPU scheduling is going to be occur. First thing, we will see who is doing the scheduling the CPU. It means who did the CPU scheduling. So for answering these questions, who is scheduling the CPU, we have to go for the state transition diagram. During the session of state transition diagram, we have understand whenever processes are available into the ready state and processes are moving from ready state to run state, at that time short term scheduler is called the dispatcher and dispatcher allocated CPU to the current process. It means at that time commander in charge was the short term scheduler. Short term scheduler decided that which process is going to be scheduled and which process will get the CPU. So then after short term scheduler call the dispatcher and dispatcher bring the CPU for that process. So we can say that short term scheduler is scheduling the CPU. So finally the answer of this question, who is scheduling the CPU or who did the CPU scheduling? So answer is short term scheduler. Next question is where actually CPU scheduling is going on. So let come back again to the state transition diagram. At that time we have discussed process scheduling and CPU scheduling. In our previous video we have discussed both the things. So if you want to better understand process scheduling and CPU scheduling as well as types of scheduler, so click here up to the right upper corner I button and understand that video and come back here again, so you will get better understanding. Let's see where actually CPU scheduling is going on. So whenever processes are arriving from ready state to run state, so at that time scheduling is going on. Get it? So it means whenever for getting the CPU, process have to be in run state, then and then we can call we can say that process is running. Whenever process is in running state, whenever processes are ready into the ready state, so at that time processes are not using the CPU. But when process is going to be scheduled and process is arriving into the run state, at that time process is getting the CPU. So we can call or we can say that when processes are moving from ready state to run state, at that time processes are getting the CPU. So answer of this question, where CPU scheduling is going to be occur, when processes are moving from ready state to run state. Next, third question, when CPU scheduling is occur. So whenever process are moving from one state to another state, look like how it is going on into the state transition diagram. First, into the starting of state transition diagram, process were into the secondary memory and processes are arriving from secondary memory to primary memory. It means processes are arriving from new state to ready state, and it is the work of long term scheduler. So it is called process scheduling. Get it? Process are scheduling from new state to ready state, so it is process scheduling. So after the processes are scheduled into the ready state, then and then CPU scheduling is going to be occur. Get it? So first, for reach up to the ready state, processes are arriving from the new state. So it is first step, processes are arriving from new to ready state. So it is our first answer. Second thing, after terminating the process from run state or run state to waiting or run state to suspended wait, so processes are, after completing the work of IO, processes are again arriving into the ready state to use the CPU. Yes, definitely, if one process got the CPU and after using CPU for the couple of seconds or few moments, processes are going for the IO, and after completing the work of IO, processes are again arriving into the ready state to use the CPU again next time. Get it? So either it should be fresh process, either it should be a older process. Both processes are requiring the CPU. So our answer is either processes are arriving from new state to ready state, at that time CPU scheduling may be occur, or processes are arriving from wait state to ready state, or from here wait or block state to ready state. So first processes are arriving from new to ready state or processes are arriving from wait to ready state. But when we can bring the processes into ready state, if suppose one process is already in execution, so can we allot CPU to some another process? No. We have to bring the CPU from that process. Either we have to stop that process, then and then we can start another process. Fundamental is at a time one processor can execute one process. Get it? So we are using or we are discussing uniprocessor system. We have a one processor and we can execute one process at a time. So if suppose if one process is already in execution, so if that process is completed or terminate, then new process from the ready state can get the CPU. It is first condition. Either it should be from, suppose that process is already running and if that process requires the IO devices, and it will go for the run to wait state. So it is second possibility, either whenever one process is going from run state to wait state, so remaining processes whatever are into the waiting into the ready state, that will get that process will get the CPU. It is second thing. Or suppose whatever the process is already into the running state, due to the higher priority process arrived or due to the completion of time quantum, for example that process is going from run state to ready state, so then another process can start its execution. So there are three possibilities. If one process is already into the running state, that process is complete the work of CPU, it means its process is terminated, or one process is going for the IO, or one process is going for the ready state. Then at that time whatever the processes are into the waiting for the CPU into the ready state, that process will be scheduled. So there are total three possibilities. So we can answer like that: run to any state, it means run to terminate state, or run to wait state, or run to ready state. It means if one process is in execution, so whenever we will stop that process, it means we will call it preemptive scheduling. Whenever we will preempt one process, then and then whatever the process is into the ready state, that process will get the CPU. So these are the answers. When CPU scheduling will occur, either processes is arriving from new state to ready state or wait state to ready state. But when process get the CPU from ready state, either whatever process is into the ready state or a run state, it will move from run to terminate or run to wait or run to ready. Then and then we can execute any another process from the ready state. So this thing is all about CPU scheduling. Hope you are getting well. Our next session will be parameter of process. So hope you will allow me for that moment. So when I will bring the video of parameters of process. Thanks for watching Devrat Knowledge Villa.